guys, how are you? Anyone? It's me again. So, another day, another video. It's me doing what I love doing most. I'm watering my plants, my nyasi, and I decided, why not do a video? I wish I had asked people to ask me questions. This is it's so unexpected. It's so unplanned, yani, not unexpected. It's so, not as the tripod. Good. Oopsie, my phone. Anyone to keep me company? Anyone? No one? Anyone? Baby, can you give fertilizer to your nyas? That's what I keep wondering. Should I just add, if I added fertilizer, would it like, inaweza harakisha? Would it like grow faster? Because I really want the nyasi. I wanted to do a get to know me video. I thought there would be people who will be online who want to ask me questions. If there's no one, let me just enjoy doing my nyasi. If you're there and you would want to ask me a question, just type the question. I have done several interviews in my life, and I've also been an interviewer. Like my last job, I had a privilege of being a client relations person, and then being a client relations person. So I was working for this amazing recruitment firm. I call it amazing because it has given me opportunities so many times. Even like during COVID time, that amazing woman, is one who had given me like a job. So I've done so many interviews myself. I remember, I don't know, I was actually talking to a friend of mine, and so this is what I'm doing. I'm watering my plants. So we were talking with a friend of mine, and then we were reminding each other how we have done so many interviews in this Nairobi. Interviews, let me tell you, the interviews we've done in Nairobi, the CVs we have sent, my God. I remember there's a time I used to send like 20 CVs in a day. And 20 CVs, and I know 20 ni kidogo. The time I used to send, okay, initially I just used to send them. You know the way you say, tuma hata zile zenye hauja qualify, I have done that. And I know, because I've been a recruiter, and I know there are times, for example, you've advertised for a position, like a managerial position, and then you just see people sending CVs you want, like, for example, the job description said, like you want someone with 10 years experience. And then you just find someone who just completed school like last year is sending a CV to such an application, that is. But then imagine when I was a recruiter, I never used to judge such people because I've been there too, like sending so many CVs with the hopes that maybe you'll be lucky. And I have even paid for my CV to be written by hiyo kampuni ilikuwa inaitwa nini? Inaitangwa corporate staffing. The ones who have like color purple in their logo. Yes. Imagine, I have done that. I don't know how many, those of you who are live, like, are you working or do you have a job? And if you're working, how did you get your job? Like, how many years did you tarmac? For myself, for example, I did a bachelor's of science in ecotourism and hospitality management. My God, at Egerton University. Ooh, hey. First of all, when like right now, the way guys are choosing courses online, like CUSPs. Our time, it was job time. It was it was Joint Admissions Board, if I'm not wrong. It was called job. So sasa KCSE kitoka, first of all, when we were in high school, tulikuwa tunachagua courses. But sasa results, when the results are out, you also have an opportunity to choose, to like revise the courses you have chosen. So when I was in high school, I had chosen accounts because I loved accounts, and also journalism. But then now when the results were out, yeah, I had qualified to do commerce, bachelor's of commerce. But somehow, I don't know, influence, I just don't know, lack of information and everything. So now we went to, that time we used to go to Nairobi University, and then hapo kwa billboard, you'd find like all the courses from different universities, like zimepiniwa kwa billboard. There was a very big billboard, wanapin, alafu wanapin the cluster points you're supposed to have to join those, to chagua those courses. Then we were taught how to calculate the cluster points, so yote tulikuwa tunajua. Mind you, I'm from Nyeri, fresh. It was my first time, I think, in Nairobi alone. Hey, my friend. So now me, so ulizia, so you know where University of Nairobi is. So you go, hey, my friend. See, I did my thing. Tukachagua courses. That time, I had the influence of my then boyfriend. Alikuanga Moi University, alikuwa na huko home Ushago. So mimi, I had chagua Moi University. See, the first choice you chagua like 3 different universities. Is it 3 different courses or 3 different universities? And then now second choice, third choice, fourth choice. So my fourth choice was actually Egerton University. And Allah, that is where niliitwa for a Bachelor's of Science in Ecotourism and Hospitality Management. So my first day, we went, like my classes, when we got the timetable, I was so disappointed. Ooh. Hi, Tracy Akinyi. Hey, I was so disappointed, and the reason why I was disappointed is because some of the units that were there, that I was supposed to take, was like introduction to botany, introduction to zoology, and mind you, I hated reading. I hated like biology. Mimi na biology tulikuwa maadui. Then now unakuja kuniambia ati I'll do introduction to fauna, to flora. My friend. So I think hapo ndio nilizona out. Then juu ya umanga, so hata siku nilipitwa na nini courses ziki. Watu wakichange courses ilinipita. Juu by the way labda ningechagua, but I think it was not God's will or anything. Anyway, so with now my degree in, with my, no, not a degree, with my bachelor's of science, I have tarmacked this Nairobi. I don't know how many of you know Unga House in Westlands. How many of you have ever gone for interviews there? Way back in, was it 20 what? 2018 uko 20, yeah, before COVID, 2018. There are these guys, they sell these slimming teas, and then they are like a pyramid scheme. If you've never applied for a job, only to go interview day unaambiwa after you listen unagundua wa kumbe ni pyramid scheme. Because what they were doing, they were advertising jobs, like for example an accountant job. Sorry. Ama a receptionist job. Kumbe ukiapply hiyo job na si hadi unapigiwa simu. Ukipigiwa simu unaambiwa, hi, am I talking to Leah? Yes. Had you applied for a job in a receptionist job? You're like, yes. You're like, Monday on this date at 8 a.m. Come to our offices, Unga House, sijui what floor. Hey, my friend. Siku ikafika. Ui, nikiorauka. Hey, I went. First of all, there's a friend of mine, my best friend, my best friend from high school. Hata yeye hiyo time tulikuwa tunatamakingi na yeye. Kumbe ashawahi I think itwa interview huko ama anajua mtu na alikuwa anajua inakwanga like a pyramid scheme. But now that time, me, I had not even told her I'm going for the interview. I was like, now I will get the job and then I will surprise her. Nikiorauka. Sikuenda kuketi hapo. First of all, kwa parking lot, we are like 1,000 of us. Literally. We were so many. All of us looking for jobs. There are those even who were like in other jobs, but sasa wameitiwa better jobs. So wamekuja. So what we did was, mna interact hapo na watu. Unauliza mtu, wewe umeapply kazi gani? Then they tell you, watchman. Mwingine, umeapply kazi gani? Receptionist, accountant, nurse, all jobs. Kampuni inaitwa, unajua like, for example, if you apply a job on Brighter Monday, there are some who they do not write the name of the hiring firm of like the company will be working for. So that was not like a big deal. Tulikuwa tunajua, you know, like for example, Brighter Monday. Tell me, what are you eating? Hey, let me attend to this one. So you just go in the house and then when I finish, I call you. Hey, watu wamekuja. All of you are here to keep me company.